What's up guys, Joey here back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about stretching. Now, whenever stretching is brought up in a lifting context, there's typically like a lot of controversy, right? Some people say you should stretch, some people say you shouldn't, some people say the time that you stretch is what matters, some people say you should stretch every day, some people say you should stretch once a week, a lot of random assumptions about stretching, but typically nobody can really come to a definitive answer. But I'm going to tell you from research and my personal experience, because I've been stretching since January, right? So from research and my personal experience, why I believe stretching to be very beneficial, and why everybody who takes part in any type of fitness, maybe not just direct weightlifting, right? Anybody who takes part in any type of fitness should be stretching. The first reason that stretching is almost a must for everybody who takes part in fitness is that your training quality will go up. With increased flexibility, you're able to take your reps through a deeper, fuller range of motion. And research shows that the stretch portion of the exercise, where your muscles all the way at the bottom, is the part that you gain the most muscle. And most people really can't efficiently stretch their muscles all the way. Like, one of the most common exercises I see it with is any type of chest press, right? You see people kind of stopping right around here when they should be stopping like all the way back here. And you are in fact losing out on like a good amount of gains doing that, right? So that's where stretching comes in. The more you stretch, the more your body efficiently allows itself to go into those deeper ranges of motion, and it ups its pain tolerance. So you're able to go deeper in those range of motion. Not only that, but you are able to retain your strength better at those greater ranges of motion, which I'll get more into. But yes, your training quality will go up. Now, because everything in your body is kind of loose, right? In addition to that, you get more blood flow, but because your body is so kind of loosened out from the stretching, every movement that you do will kind of feel more fluid. You'll feel a lot more stable, and everything is just a lot more clean. It's like you're moving like water in the gym, right? That's what I personally noticed from stretching, right? So whereas somebody might do a rep like this or some shit, like, it's much smoother like this. Like, everything feels autonomous, and like you're not splitting the form up, basically, right? So yeah, it allows your movements to feel a lot more smoother, and you're able to take your body through deeper ranges of motion, which is very beneficial for hypertrophy. I could throw up like 50,000 studies of that. But yes, stretching will improve your training quality immensely, and I can back this up. Now, this is something personal that I noticed with stretching, but it did personally make my body look a little bit longer and taller. And possibly why this may be is, one is the slight spine decompression that you can get from stretching over a long period of time. And in addition to that, your muscles have some sort of ability to grow somewhat longer. I'm not saying the longest possible, but they can grow a tad bit longer through stretching. Now, this is typically done through consistent stretching, right? But when we stretch, our body kind of uses and gets rid of things called sarcomeres. The more we stretch, the more sarcomeres we have. The more sarcomeres we have over time, the longer our muscle lengths can go to, not just from a working out perspective, but from an actual aesthetic perspective, right? The more you stretch, the more you use it, the more sarcomeres you have, the longer your muscle will look. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the most huge, insane, noticeable difference, no. But you will get a small difference in your muscle length and your height. Like, personally, I got around an inch taller of doing it, and this with the addition of stretchings. And the general consensus is you want to try to get 6 minutes per muscle group a week, and this is for around 2 months, 8 weeks. Another thing that I noticed with stretching is that my performance was actually better. When you stretch, not only are you able to go to greater ranges of motion, but you're able to better retain your strengths at greater ranges of motion. And being able to better retain your strength at greater ranges of motion, aka the most hypertrophic point of the lift, is insanely beneficial for your physique and your health in general. When you go through, this is typically where people find the most injuries, right? Is through those longer ranges of motion. So if your body's more fluid at these longer ranges of motion and it's stronger, there's a lot less injuries going to happen. This is also just better for progressive overload. The stronger you are at the hardest part of the movement, the easier it's going to be to add more weight over time and thus gain more muscle. Now, obviously, progressive overload is not the only principle when it comes to gaining muscle, but it is 60 to 70% of it, trying to increase the difficulty of whatever training you're doing over time. But also, when I stretched, not like immediately before my workout, when I did like a 10-minute stretching session of static stretching is generally what I'm talking about in this video, like an hour or two before my actual workout, my blood flow was always there. Like it took one set to get a decent pump and I was good, right? And my body just, like I said, it felt more fluid and a lot stronger. So my performance in the gym was always high. It was very rare after I included stretching that I would have bad workouts. Like that was never a thing after I started stretching. So yeah, stretching is just, to me, like it's one of the main principles, like the holy grail when it comes to lifting, right? It just has so much benefits. But yeah, it will actually make your workouts go a lot better. Not just feel better, but it will make you perform better. Now, another reason you should implement stretching is because it's actually the basis of two of the most popular like intensity techniques right now. That being long length partials and interset stretching that it is, right? So interset stretching, I'll tell you what that is first, right? It's where in between your sets, after your actual working sets, you hold a weight and stretch with it for 30 seconds, and research show that they significantly gained more muscle. Now, long length partials is kind of what it sounds like, right? When your body becomes too drained to complete full ranges of motion, you only complete the first half, kind of like half reps. But because you're doing it in the lengthened part of the motion, it's incredibly hypertrophic, and there was a significant increase in muscle building for the people who did do it. Now, why I'm saying you should stretch, because if your flexibility is not up to par, chances are these training techniques are not gonna, one, be as effective for you, and two, they're gonna fucking hurt you, right? If your body is too weak and not flexible enough to do like these intensity techniques, you will either hurt yourself or get very close to it, right? So in addition to that, right, if your body is properly prepared through the stretching for those long length partials and interset stretching, you'll be able to do them even better and progress even better with them, right? So just stretching is even the basis of a lot of popular intensity techniques at the moment. So yes, try to include stretching. And lastly, this may not be as important to some people because most of the performance and actual like shit that people are here for is out of the way, but it wakes your body up and just makes you feel better in general, right? Because in stretching, we're putting our bodies in such hard positions. There's so much blood getting rushed all over our body, right? Blood getting rushed to our head. So it's amazing at waking us up. Anytime I would I would wake up from a nap and stretch after work, I was always energized and ready to get back into the gym. So yes, stretching does help in those areas, right? But it was also good at improving my mood. I was always in a better mood, happy, more bubbly, and just ready to do my workout. Being woken up and energized and, knowing you did something like that for the day really does have an impact on how you do everything else for the day. So stretching, with all of its benefits, is just one of those things that it's perfect for this, right? So yes, stretching is very good. And there you have it, guys. Is stretching good or bad? You can tell from this video. If you still think it's bad, hey, I respect your opinion, whatever. But personally, I like to stretch a lot. So yeah, let me know what videos you guys want to see next, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.